What's up, everyone? Today, why growth in business is so important. Why does it matter, or does it? My name is Setema Gali, and I'm ready to rock and roll on this. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Let's talk about growth. What is growth? Growth is the opposite of staying stagnant. And most businesses, if they're not in a growth mode, they're dying. As a business owner, as an entrepreneur, your sole focus is to grow. Now, I get it, right? There's a part of you that might be like, well, we're good. I'm good with this. But you got to understand, if you're not growing, you're dying. And if you're dying, you're selfish. Your job as a business owner is to create value in the marketplace. I've seen this with business owners, with companies. Most of you, you don't even know, you don't remember the BlackBerries, do you? Or the Trio phones, or the Nokia phones. Once upon a time, that was the best phone on the market. And then along came these Razors, and then the iPhone came along. And the iPhone, Apple just took off with growth. Right? They had growth strategies. And if you really understand growth and expansion, you're either growing or you're dying. There's no standing still. So why is it so important for your business to grow? If you're not obsessed with growth and growth strategies and how to grow you as the leader, you're going to get replaced. Another company. Some of you have no idea what Blockbuster is because all we know is streaming. Netflix, Hulu, Paramount, Peacock. But back in the day, once upon a time, we used to get in our cars, drive to a store, walk in, walk around and look at videos like VHSs and then DVDs for rent. You'd rent it for like 3 days or 4 days. And you'd stand in line and buy a thing of popcorn and some red vines. You'd go home, plug it in and watch it. Blockbuster was not focused on growth. In fact, Netflix even offered a massive amount of money for Blockbuster and they turned it down. Well, Blockbuster they went bust. The same thing will happen to you if you refuse to grow. Now, I want you to understand this, right? Your business is a living, breathing thing, and you got to treat it as such, right? Marketplaces shift, economies go up and down, market needs change all the times. Once upon a time, again, there was no smartphone, 15, 16 years ago? And now everything's smartphone. There was no tablet, and now everyone's got some kind of tablet, iPad, something. So, I want you to understand this. Every time that you choose a growth strategy, you're choosing to expand into the universe, this thing called love and light. Now, I want to give you a few strategies here, 3 things that have really helped us as a coach, as a mentor, as a leader for business owners. So it's just like this. Ready? Number 1, decide that we are going to grow. You'd be amazed at how simple the decision is. Just make a decision and we got to grow. So you take your current reality, wherever you are, number of employees, top line, bottom line revenue, profitability, and you look at everything from a current reality, or another word that's used is kind of from your fact map. And then you get to determine, okay, if we were to grow, what would it look like? And why would it matter? From reaching more people. Look, if you really believe in your program, product, or service, if you really believe that it's good, then you have a moral obligation to grow, to expand. So the first thing is just make the decision, hey, we're going to grow. Now, the second part of the strategy is simple. You've got to pick your key metrics that really matter, and then you have to measure what's driving it. So, for example, I look at a lot of the businesses we coach, and it's really simple. We don't focus on sales, and we don't focus on marketing. The focus is on how do we grow. And so we might look at the metric of leads produced and the closing percentage. We might look at how much revenue or what the average customer's lifetime value is to the organization. You might even look at how can we just reach more people. And what works in one company doesn't work in the other. Now, the final thing I'd say is this. The most important piece of growth, a growth strategy and a growth mindset, is not necessarily growing your business. I know it sounds kind of counterproductive, right? It's not necessarily doing that. You know, you really want to know what it is? It's growing yourself, right? It is the ability to choose personal growth and development. No matter how good you are, you can always get better. So I think about MJ, like Michael Jordan, right back in the 90s. I know for some of you, like, you weren't even born yet. But MJ won. He came into the league, amazing ball handler and scoring champ. And then when he hit the 90s and his team was finally ready, he grew mentally because the Pistons, the Detroit Pistons, beat the crap out of him. And instead of running, he chose to grow. Like, I love in The Last Dance, they lost to the Pistons and Game 7, and they're like, hey, when are we starting? He goes, tomorrow. And instead of running, he chose to grow his muscles, grow his strength, grow his leadership. Jordan chose personal growth and development. That led to his first three-peat. Beats the Lakers, beats the Trailblazers, beats Charles Barkley and the Suns. Decides to go play baseball, comes back, loses to the Orlando Magic at the end of a season, and then he goes on this trajectory of growth. He was older. Could he still jump and do things? Yeah, but he was just way better mentally. As a leader, your job is to do what Jordan did, is to expand, to become a leader. You're not going to do everything. In fact, you shouldn't be doing everything in your business. You shouldn't be doing close to everything. Your job is to inspire with the vision. Your job is to lead the troops. Your job is to not blame the marketplace, but to choose growth strategies. And to choose growth strategies means you surround yourself with incredible, young, vibrant leaders, people who are ambitious, people who are better than you. And they might be inexperienced, not as experienced as you, but I'm going to tell you right now, if you choose growth, and another word for growth is, write this down, is innovate. To innovate. Those who don't innovate, they die. They get buried. They get left behind. I think Apple has done a phenomenal job of innovating, right? With iPhone, iPad, MacBook Pro, iMac, Apple Watch. Like, they're always looking for ways. And if you want to talk about growth, how can we create more value? And then the growth comes down to your growth in your mindsets, and then growth in your skill sets, right? Growth in the mindsets, growth in the skill sets. Can you expand your mindsets? Can you expand your perspective? But you absolutely get to go grow your skill sets and develop new skill sets and leadership sets, and expand your ability to communicate clearly and effectively, and expand your emotional intelligence. When you personally grow, you give yourself a better chance to grow with your business, and you grow in your relationships, you grow in your communication, you grow in everything, and the people care. So I'm going to give you another term here. It's called human life value. And human life value is the value that your human life brings to the marketplace. Now, again, I get in Christianity, in Christian terms, right? The worth of souls is great in the sight of God. Yes, you're absolutely, your soul is eternal and infinite worth. But in the marketplace, you're only as valuable as you can create value. So the development of skill sets, the expansion of mindsets, the gathering of tool sets, and then the alignment with heart and soul sets. If you're on this trajectory of getting better every single day and every way, getting better and better, expanding your capacity, expanding your ability to communicate, I promise you, your life's going to look a whole lot better. You will not get left behind. You will not be buried with the other businesses that have gone the way of the earth. But you actually continue to innovate and adapt and create value for the people in the marketplace. Listen, if this has been helpful for you, join me in my live experience. If this has been helpful for you, leave me a comment below. If this has been helpful for you, I challenge you to go do one thing, just one thing to grow, to expand. Whether you're expanding your physicality, your fitness, your health, you're expanding your knowledge inside of your business and marketing, sales, leadership. You're expanding your relationships, your ability to handle stress as a parent with teenagers and little ones and young ones, and maybe you're in your 50s or 60s. You've got to expand your patience and grow. And then, of course, grow your spirituality. Can you grow your spirit, your heart, and your connection to God? Choose expansion, choose growth, because the purpose of existence really is eternal expansion and value creation. The more you grow, the more value you can create, and the more value that you create, the more dollars come into your account, but not just dollars, memories, experiences, joy, connections, relationships, energy, vibration, frequency. So that said, join me, click the link inside of the description, join us in our live experience. I do this once a month where we connect and we gather around in a live experience, and there's this aliveness, and there's this vibration, and there's excitement for life, and this ambition, and these tools to help you make the greatest life possible. I'll see you there. Register now. Let's go.
Let's go. See, it's more than the game that we changing. We don't do it for the block, do it for the name. Yeah. No, there ain't no stopping it. If you really want it, better rock with it. This is how to be a game changer. Better put your pride down, heavy, get your pen up. Wanna be the greatest, we ain't stopping till we win, yeah. This is how to make it when they hating, we ain't worried what they saying. This